Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Making 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto was created from the God Tree. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto, Awaken the Golden Dragon Soul, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Animaking family. Yes, family. I indeed have 3 channels, Animaking, Animaking 2, and Animaking 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead and subscribe to all of them guys. And go on ahead and switch on that bell notification so you can see exactly when I post. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say without wasting any more time and get right into this new episode? So the last spot we left off, it was a rather peaceful day, as Harrison was liking how things were coming along, the rebuilding of the village, and not to mention how Naruto was fitting in the academy, as he was making friends. That was until a massive explosion went off that shook the entire place. Back out in the park, half of the park had been turned into dust and rubble, as Naruto had decimated all. Itachi was shocked when he had saw Naruto's palm just open up and a strange black ball had shot from the back of his hand and decimated behind the child. Said child that was trying to bully Itachi got up and ran. Him and his friends running for their life. Terrified, they were petrified of Naruto, as they got the hell out of there before anyone could even say a word. Harrison and the envoys arrived at that moment, as they were brought back to said office, as Naruto explained what happened as they apologized. Saying that there was no life taken or anyone hurt, Harrison decided to sweep this one under the mat, but he told Naruto to never let this happen again, otherwise he'll have to pull him from the academy. As Naruto said that he wouldn't let it happen again, as Kushina came in the room, as she was worried, but everything was fine. Later on that day, Danzo arrived. He wanted to know more about the Uzumaki. This child was intriguing him more and more, but Harrison would not give him any information or tell him anything, and Danzo couldn't really get near Naruto because Naruto was not in the mood to even see him near him at all. So with that, the days returned back to normal as the academy started back up. As Naruto and Itachi were at school going towards practice, only for some kids to run behind them as a giant bully was chasing them down, as Naruto merely knocked him out with a simple hit, as Itachi realized that Naruto was getting better at not using excessive force on weaker people than him. When they went around the back of the field to do their training, everyone thought that Naruto missed, but the thing was he had thrown the kunai so hard that it split right through the board, as Itachi told him to release, not so much strength. So he did that as he got a perfect score. His accuracy was on point. Itachi had invited him over towards the Naka River as they were there, as he showed Naruto the fireball jutsu, as Naruto mimicked what he did without even weaving hand signs. Fukaku was shocked at that as he asked him how he did that. As Naruto was talking, his head started to hurt him, and he saw that thing once again with 10 waving tails, as he wasn't sure what it was. He explained it to Kushina that night as she told him that everything would be alright. As the memories were coming less and less, she just hoped they stopped bothering him. Some years passed after that as Itachi had graduated, as he was a prodigy in every sense of the word. The academy was just wasting his time. Naruto had also met Shisui as well, who said he was also his friends. After all, any friends of Itachi was a friend of his. As Naruto wasn't allowed to leave the academy yet, it was not because of his control or his power, it was because Certain things Naruto did not understand, as he needed to learn to cope with these things first, but soon enough, he would be leaving. But Izumi filled the role for Itachi while Naruto was at school, as she introduced him to a lot more people as Naruto got a lot more friends who wanted to talk with him. Several more girls that kept on asking him out on dates, but he didn't really know any of them, so he declined, as that just seemed to make them want him even more. It was like he was an untapped fruit that they could not get at. As it was late in the night, as Mito was now 3 years old, as he recently attended a party, as the mother of Hinata Hyuga was sick, the heiress to the clan. As Naruto was in the forest, he was doing something with that snake, when he found a man trying to pass him, as Naruto's eyes could visualize the bag on his sack, seeing right through it as he saw the young Hyuga heiress inside. As Naruto told the man to stop, the man attacked him, so Naruto fought back as he saved the girl. He then subdued the man as he placed his hand on the man's chest. The man was shocked when he was unable to use his chakra anymore. It felt like there was no chakra in his body as he couldn't understand as he attacked Naruto, but his punches were weak, as they were not fueled by any chakra. So Naruto started to impale him with branches over and over, before he decided to drag him back to the village. As he covered his mouth, he picked up Hinata, who clutched onto him with dear life, as she had saw him at her birthday party, and he was here to save her. So yeah guys, that was basically last but left off. You guys can switch across the place to check it out for yourself. Remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken the Golden Dragon Soul, and enjoy that guys. And staying tuned for those what is coming your way. I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them, but let's get straight into this new episode. We begin this episode at the Forest of Death. Hiruzen, along with Hayashi and a few others, landed in a quick succession. The moment they did, the envoy landed beside Hiruzen. Sir, they're all inside, and they're being watched. Hiruzen nodded, as it was the Kumo team that was here. He and his envoys keep an eye on them. But a problem arose. Hinata Hyuga was kidnapped recently, as the guard that was subdued had informed the house rather quickly, and now they were out here looking for her, as a trail had led them here. It wasn't too long ago, so they were sure that they would find him before he could. Hiruzen had to move. Not just him, as Hayashi had to move as well. After a few seconds after they landed, a body was hurled. The force of the fence was not able to apply the amount of strength to hold the body in place. The hinges snapped as the fence broke down as the body was thrown. It crashed right on the ground, rather roughly, as the man whimpered in pain. Hayashi activated his Byakugan as he looked into the darkness. What he saw was a human silhouette of nothing but pure, unbridled chakra. The chakra was so steady, and yet there was so much. Hayashi tried to grasp the endlessness of this chakra because it was in a pattern of reverse and continue. It seemed to circle around in a full succession, and there seemed to be no ending to it. Who the hell was this? Said silhouette of chakra was holding something in said arms. The envoys flocked around the area to protect their Hokage. They watched as a 9-year-old boy emerge. Long red hair, crystal blue eyes, with a child holding on to him rather tightly, as one arm was draped around his back as she gripped onto the back of his shirt. Hiruzen blinked. Naruto? He said. Naruto looked down toward the child. You're safe now. Your father is here. Hinata turned as she saw her father, as tears were in her eyes, immediately seeing the man. Father, she said. The man refused to cry, as he kept that stony face, but his heart felt overwhelmed that his daughter was here, and that she was safe as well, but she still had a tight grip on Naruto, as Naruto walked over to the man, as he slowly allowed her to release her grip, as he handed his daughter to him. Hayashi took Hinata from the strange boy, as he had never seen chakra like that before. There was no chakra system. It was like the boy was literally made from chakra entirely, which was impossible. Hinata, are you alright? He asked, as she nodded, slowly wiping her tears as she was taught proper etiquette, but she was just afraid. But he saved her as she glanced towards the red-haired boy. Naruto, what is going on? Asked Hiruzen. As Naruto glanced towards the man, he still tried to fight me even though. He was disarmed, so I proceeded to knock him out, said Naruto. Who is he? I found him trying to steal the child, said Naruto. So I subdued him and rescued the child. Hayashi, knowing that was already the case already seen, said man on the ground, as he marched over to the man, who was bleeding rather badly. Onvus, make sure he doesn't die, said Hiruzen. I want answers. The Onvus nodded as they picked up the man, and quickly rushed him off. They couldn't afford for him to die, they had to know who sent him. If this was really Kumo, well, this was a problem. Naruto, come with me, he said. Time skip. I can't explain it, said the doctor as he stood there in front of Hayashi and Hiruzen. He will be fine and be ready for questioning soon, but his chakra, he has none. I don't follow, Hayashi said. It is exactly as it sounds. He has no chakra in his system at all. Usually, something like that would result in death, but I'm not sure how he's alive. But there is no chakra in his system at all. But yet he's completely fine. Bruised up badly, but fine. It's almost like his chakra was taken away from him. Hayashi glanced towards Hiruzen, as the doctor excused himself to do some more tests. So with that, they heard crackle of electricity. Both men stepped outside to see Naruto in a chair waiting for them. His hand was encased in lightning. As Hiruzen looked at Naruto, the lightning was going around his palm in a quick succession, jumping from one finger to the next. Naruto, Hiruzen asked, where did you learn that? From the man inside, said Naruto. What? Said Hayashi, confused what the child meant by that. I don't completely understand. It's like muscle memory. Yes, that is the correct way of saying it. After I took away his chakra, this happened. Wait, you did that? Hayashi said. Yes, said Naruto. He deserved it. He was gonna take your daughter away. I figured I should punish him, at first. I was gonna erase him completely, but I figured you would want the chance of hurting him yourself and taking away his life for what he almost did. I'm sure it is not by any good means for him taking away your daughter. She is just 3 years old, like Mito. And if he was gonna hurt her, I presume that you want the chance to hurt him yourself for what he almost did. As the lightning kept on dancing around Naruto's hand before it dissipated. How did you take away his chakra? I rested my hand on his chest and took it away, said Naruto. Since when can you do that? Asked Hiruzen. It hasn't been so long, said Naruto. I first tried on animals, but it seems it can also be worked on humans. And you're able to completely erase his chakra, so he will no longer have it ever again, asked Hayashi. Yes, said Naruto. I know it belonged to me. Oh, and I've been meaning to talk with you. I'm not going back to the academy. Why? Said Hiruzen. It's boring me, said Naruto. Hayashi said nothing as he stood there. He's never really paid attention to his kid before, because he thought that he was just a normal kid, but he was definitely not. As Naruto slammed both hands together before, Hayashi and Hiruzen watched as something phenomenal happened. Naruto's body started to twitch and turn. The left side of his face started to dislodge. It almost seemed like something was emerging. Naruto, what are you doing? Hiruzen asked. But it was too late as hands emerged on Naruto's side. As Naruto's body split into two. The two men were frightened to what they saw. A perfect copy of Naruto stood there in his clothing. The only thing was, its skin was much browner than Naruto. Its eyes also looked lifeless. And it was just standing there not moving. The same clothes, the same hair. Its eyes were lifeless and its skin was brown. This is much better than a clone, said Naruto. Because, as Naruto clenched his fist, he smashed it in his copy's stomach. The copy was sensational as he cracked into the wall, breaking into it. It picked itself up and shrugged off the hit and came back Naruto's side. Because he can take hits like that without dispelling. As Naruto placed his hand on the copy's shoulder before it entered back his body, it seemed to just melt away into his skin. Itachi was able to pass the academy because he knew the clone jutsu. You said that I was not ready, but it's been 3 years, and I know more than I should right now. I've studied all the books, so I will not be going back to the academy. It's boring me, said Naruto. I will speak to you tomorrow. I'm going home. He turned his back and started to walk away. As Hiruzen sighed, well, maybe this wasn't a bad move. After all, Naruto has grown exponentially over the past 3 years. It wasn't that Naruto was not, or lacking in certain areas. After all, he had splendid control over his chakra even though his body was literally made up of it. And from the things that he can do, well, he was far too strong for the academy, but he just didn't have the experience. And that is what he lacked, the experience to be a ninja. But that can be taught. But Hiruzen realized that he was right. The only reason why he allowed Naruto to stay in the academy for the past 3 years was because Naruto was lacking in the socialized area. After the event of him nearly killing a child. But he had learned a lot since then. And he now knew not to use excessive force on his own fellow shinobis. After all, he did brought the ninja back alive to show how much he has grown in the past. He would have simply got rid of the man. But he brought him back, and now, if this man was indeed from Kumo who tried to steal Byakugan, well, he would be having some talk with the Raikage. Nothing pleasant. Hokage-sama. He turned his head towards Hayashi. That boy. He's not exactly normal, is he? Hayashi said. Hiruzen figured that Hayashi had saw a lot. He knew that sooner or later, the truth will come out about Naruto, well, not about where he came from, but about what exactly he was. After all, when he became a ninja, the spotlight will be on him a lot, given the fact that he is not exactly genin level, or perhaps not even chunin level at such a young age, perhaps even jonin level, because of the destructive power that he possesses. Not exactly, Hiruzen said. Time skip. The next morning, the small red-headed 3-year-old child was currently making her way. As she crawled straight underneath the bed, she covered her mouth as she stopped herself from giggling. That was when she found something holding on to her leg as she was yanked out of the bed as she squealed. As Naruto held her up by her feet, she giggled. You found me, big brother, she said. And now, surprise attack as she punched him in the stomach. Naruto flipped her over with her leg as she squealed even more as he caught her with one hand holding her by her hand. As she chuckled some more. Surprise attack as she punched him in his shoulder as Naruto let her down. So, how are my surprise attacks, she asked. Ow, said Naruto as she chuckled triumphantly. Next time they will be a lot stronger. But don't worry, I won't hurt you too bad. Now, try and catch me. As she ran off. As Naruto stood there as he watched her go. As Mito had grown into a kind, sweet little girl. It angered him that most people, some of them, whenever he and Kushina and Mito went out into the village, there was still some people that were angered, knowing that what she possessed inside of her. While they did not outright glare at her, or say anything bad, Naruto felt it, as he could feel their emotions. And most of them were not good. Some of them greeted them with a smile. After all, she was the reminder of the four Hokage that they had, while some of them don't look her way and some of them always have dark thoughts in their heads, angry, still thinking that she was a beast that she hold. But they did not do anything after all. Despite settling down for some time now, Kushina was still known as the Red Death of Konoha, and she was a rather dangerous woman. And if it wasn't Kushina, it was Naruto. And if it came down to it, between Mito or any other villager, Naruto would snap their neck without hesitating. So no one ever dared try anything. As Mito was completely oblivious of this, she could not sense the emotions that Naruto felt. Kushina was a senser as well, so she knew that most people still did not get over the fact that she was a holder and not the beast itself, but they would not say a word to her at all. Meanwhile, downstairs, Kushina had just returned as she had run out of eggs. She had bumped into Hayashi himself. While knowing the man, they were not really friends, as you might say. After all, It was just the man's wife that she was close friends with, but she knew the man. He told her to send his thanks towards Naruto for saving his child, as he never got to properly thank Naruto last night. Kushina was confused on what he was talking about, as she asked, so he explained. The moment Kushina came back, she had to place down the bag as Mito came running down the stairs and leaped. As she caught her daughter in her arms, she spun her around as Mito waved her hands, as she pulled her in for a kiss on the forehead. And how are you doing, my sweet dear? I'm just fine, Mom. I woke up and didn't see you. Big brother told me that you were out, shopping though. And now you're back, so what did you bring me? Oh, I just got things to cook, honey, she said. As she looked towards the stove. So where's breakfast, she asked. It will be up right soon. Where's your big brother, she said. He should be coming very soon. Can you put me down, Mom? As she put her down as Mito went underneath the table as she hid. As Naruto came down the stairs. As he looked around before seeing Kushina, he gave her a soft smile as she smiled back at him. As he then looked down towards the table. Mito then sprung. Surprise attack, she said. As Naruto caught her fists. Again, she said, as she vanished back under the table. As Kushina chuckled a bit. Naruto, I bumped into Hayashi, and he told me that you saved his daughter. Mito crawled out. You saved his daughter? Is he talking about Hinata? Yes, said Naruto. Some guy tried to kidnap her, but she's fine now. Whoa, and you saved her, big brother? Yeah, said Naruto. You're a hero. I always knew you were a hero, but I just thought that you were my hero. But you do it for other people as well. She jumped up as she hugged him by the neck. As Kushina stood there, completely lost in her thoughts for a moment. Of how well they got along. A part of her just hoped that Minato was here. To see all of this. To know how their daughter grew into a wonderful, kind young lady. And Naruto, how much he took care of them. As she smiled, as Naruto sat down as he pleased, Mito on his lap. So what happened? Asked Kushina. I'm not sure who it was, said Naruto. But I stopped him, and she's back home now. So what did he told you? Well, he told me to send my thanks to you. He didn't get a time to tell you last night because he went off. Oh. Okay then, said Naruto. Mom, can we go visit Hinata? I want to see if she's alright. As Kushina thought about it. I'm sure that she needs a friend right now. Yeah, we'll go visit her later on, so you can talk to her. Awesome, said Mito, as Kushina got to prepare breakfast. As Mito climbed up on the table, as she sat down so she could face Naruto. So, what did you do? Did you punch his light out? Well, he tried to punch me, said Naruto, as he paused. As he shouldn't really tell her any gruesome scene, so I blocked his fist and punched his light out, said Naruto. Whoa, and did he try? Yeah, a bit. As Mito pumped her fist in the air. But he deserved it, right? I mean, he did try to steal Hinata. Yeah, he deserved it, said Naruto. And now Hinata is fine, so you have nothing to worry about. Alright, you did your part. I'll do my part now. And what's your partner to ask? Oh, to be there for Hinata to make her know that everything is gonna be just alright. And if any other people show their face, I'll punch your light out myself, said Mito, as she punched her fist forward. As she looked towards her face with a smug look on her face. Don't worry, big brother, she said. Once I get big and strong, I won't hurt you too much. But you're gonna have to spar with me, okay? As Naruto ruffled her hair, she flipped over and jumped on his back. Now, onward. Let's have some fun before Mom is done cooking. As Naruto got to his feet, as he didn't mind playing with her. It was actually refreshing. As he made his way outside, I'll be back soon, he told Kushina. Don't go too far. I'll be done very soon, she told him. Yeah, Mom, said Mito as they made their way. Kushina smiled as she hummed to herself as she prepared breakfast for the two of them and herself as well. Meanwhile, that was going on. At the council room, it seemed peace can never last, said Inoichi, as he handed the report to the Hokage. What are we gonna do about this? Koharu said. This is an act of war. As the people in the room agreed as well. Not only was this peace signing not only a trick, but They use this to infiltrate the village to take the Byakugan for their own. This is unforgivable, Homura said. Kumo, you used the talk of peace trying to attack us in our blind spot. We cannot allow this to just go on. He's right, Danzo said. They will think that we're weak if we don't retaliate. We have to show them the might of Konoha. Harrison looked towards the man. If you have your way, Danzo, Konoha and every single village will be at war right now. But that is not what we want. Yes, this act is a defiant of war, but still, we've all here has been through war. And I'm sure that none of you want us to go back in that time, where children has to go on the front line to fight. Those times are over, not recently has. We just leave a war, not to mention the attack of the Kyuubi, lessen our forces. For us to put Konoha and his citizens through a war right now is ill-advised. So what should we do then, Homura said. I have already contained the Kumo Shinobis. They said that they have no idea about this plan at all. I have refrained from giving Inuichi the signal to probe their minds yet, but they are currently in the holding cells. I have already sent a message to Kumo. I am sure that they have got it by now. Not only will there be compensation for the Hyuga clan as a whole, and the village as well. I expect a written apology from the Raikage himself for this act of treason against us. I am sure that he, even he of all person, is not foolish enough to start this small fuse and ignite it into an all-out war. And I'm sure that none of us here wants that. All the clan heads in the room agreed, as they had been through war, and war was a terrible thing. It's not like any of their shinobis were perished on our land. And if one of them had died here, they would have been asking for compensations, pretending like they don't know what we're talking about, said Homura. So this is a good thing then. But still, well, not all of them are going back unharmed, said Shikaku. Yes, about that, said Danzo, as he realized he had his moment. That Uzumaki child. You said that he was the one that caught the perpetrator. And now said man doesn't have an ounce of chakra in his body, and yet he's still somewhat alive. The group looked towards Hiruzen. Yes, I've refrained from talking about Naruto for some time now, but he's not normal in a sense. He's much stronger than he is right now. I have not allowed him to graduate from the academy yet because he was not ready. But I'm afraid that allowing him to stay there would be just wasting his time. But you're right. He does have the ability to remove one's chakra completely. The room was shocked by that. How? Said Tatsumi. I am not entirely sure. I have not yet spoken to him about the matter. He has done this village a great service by protecting Hinata Hyuga, as Hayashi nodded to himself at that. I have not yet spoken to him about the matter, but he was able to completely take away the kidnapper's chakra. But somehow he's still alive. Inuichi, what did you find? Well, while I was going through his mind, I'm not sure what happened, but once Uzumaki laid his hands up on his chest, all sense of chakra was pulled out of his body, and it was just erased. He tried to surface the chakra, but there was nothing. It is like a permanent seal placed on him to evacuate every single ounce of chakra in his body, but yet he's still alive, reduced to a state lesser than a civilian, unable to use an ounce of chakra. That's quite a nifty technique. To have someone that can completely erase another's chakra, a dangerous technique as well, said Shikaku, as the group in the room nodded. As they all thought about it, no matter how powerful you were, if someone could erase your chakra, what could you do? Even a Kage would simply be a mere child if their chakra was completely erased. Faced off against a genin that had access to your chakra, the only thing that might help them was their experience, but still. So what are you gonna do with said child, Danzo asks. I'm afraid there is no prospect genins to put him with this year, so I'm thinking about placing him under apprenticeship. Of who, if I may ask? I'm not certain yet. I'm going through a listing, but I will be keeping Naruto's name off the record. I don't want Kumo to be targeting him. Inoichi, have you done what I told you? Yes. I managed to erase Naruto out of his head. To him, it would be an unknown suspect that defeated him once he returned back to Kumo. Time skip. Later that evening, as Naruto walked through the Uchiha compound, as he simply made his way, a lot of people had seen him here a lot, so they did not question him. As he calmly made his way towards the Naka River, where he saw Itachi standing there. Itachi and him were about the same height, as he has grown in the past 3 years. As Naruto stood beside him, I heard that you protected Hinata Hyuga from a kidnapper, he said. Yes, said Naruto. I figured you would. Well, that's a good thing. Now we don't have to go to war for this silly reason. You really do hate war, don't you? Said Naruto. Itachi simply nodded. He was a pacifist. He really hated the prospect of war in any way possible. As Naruto spoke, something that surprised Itachi. It was not him speaking, but the things that he said. If the Uchihas were to turn their wrath upon the village, who would you protect? Itachi paused as he turned his sights towards Naruto. Why would you ask me that? Lately, I've noticed there have been some arguments between the civilians and your clan. It seems that the bad blood has been growing. I'm not sure what is causing this, but your clan is not getting along with the populace. Huh. You've noticed, huh? Itachi said. Yes, I have, said Naruto. So I asked once again, if they were to fight the village, what would you do? I'm a ninja of Konoha, but they are my family, Itachi said. I don't know. If I can do anything to prevent this, even at the cost of my own life, I would. As Naruto looked over towards the river before he picked up a stone, as he tossed it. The stone bounced, as it bounced before it sunk, right into the bottom. Just like that stone. If you get rid of the problem, everything will stabilize. Just like how the water is now calm. Are you saying that we should get rid of the Uchihas? Itachi said. No. You have misheard me, said Naruto. I can feel the unrest in the Uchihas as well. They don't want any of this. As Itachi kept an eye on Naruto. So, I don't believe that your clan is the one causing this. Neither is the civilians. So try and find what is causing this. And erase them. And everything will be returned back to normal. But that is not what I came here to talk to you about. I will be leaving the academy. You are? Did the Hokage know? I told him I had enough, said Naruto. Figures. You're the only one I know that can get away with something like that, said Itachi. As Naruto placed both hands in his pockets. The academy is becoming boring. Yes, I have friends, but it's becoming more and more boring. And I want to go out there. Like what you're doing. I want to be a ninja. The world is a big place. I've read so much books. And I'm excited to see what is beyond these walls. Lady Kushina told me that it would be good for me to experience the world. It is a wonderful sight to see. Away from all the bloodshed and the chaos. There are some good things out there. Naruto, have you ever called her mom before? Asked Itachi. What? Said Naruto. I mean, as long as I've known you call her Lady Kushina. Have you ever called her mom? No, I don't think so. Why? Well, given the way how attached you are, I thought you'd have started to call her mom a long time ago. I don't think she minds, do you? Said Naruto. I don't know, Itachi said. But it's just something I've noticed. Well, I never thought of it before. Well, how is Sasuke? Naruto asks. Huh, just like me too, I presume. Both of them are bowl of energy. And when they get together, they always end up in some kind of fight. The two children always end up in some kind of fight. And everyone knew that. It wasn't that they hate each other, it was just that they just can't seem to get along. But it wasn't hate. As Naruto focused on Itachi for a long moment. What is it? You've changed, said Naruto. How so? I don't know what it is. But you've changed. In a bad way, Itachi asks. I'm not sure yet, said Naruto. But you're my friend, Itachi. And you're not a bad person. Don't let whatever is going on make you think that you are. As Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder, because you will always be my friend. Thanks, said Itachi. Time skip, later that evening. As Izumi was making her way, as she saw Naruto standing right at the gate. Naruto, she said, she made her way over towards him. Why weren't you in class today? She asks. I won't be attending the academy anymore. She paused. What? Really? They had become good friends over the past couple of years. Really good friends. As she didn't understand. Yes. I will be going on to become a ninja, said Naruto. So I won't be returning. I just came here to tell you. You can tell the others, correct? Yeah, I can do that, she said. Huh. As she looked down. What is wrong, said Naruto. Well, I just didn't expect you to leave so soon. I mean, weren't things going great? As Naruto raised a curious eyebrow. Yes, I presume so. Well, I thought you were gonna stay till, well, I graduate, she said. And then we might end up on a team together. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Yes, that would be awesome, said Naruto. But I'm afraid it's time for me to move on. Well, I guess you have to, she said. After all, we both know that you were just here for etiquette. We both know that you're a lot stronger than you let on. Aren't you, she said, as she gave him a wink, a playful one. If you say so, he told her. Well, I guess I won't be seeing you for a long time, she said. As she really saw Itachi. Just barely nowadays, in the clan compound. Seeing that he was now a ninja. She extended her arm forward only for Naruto to pull her in. Her face became incredibly red. As they were so close to each other. Naruto, what are you? As he placed his lips on hers. She froze for a moment. Her mind unable to think about what is going on right now. As she didn't pull back or push away. She was just caught off guard. They then broke apart. She looked at him with wide eyes. What was that for? She asked. The best way to show your female friend that you care about them. And in the time that I've spent with you, I've come to care about you. You're my friend, said Naruto. I don't want you to forget that. So, that is something to remember me by. You just kiss me, she said. Yes, said Naruto. It's a sign of male and female love between each other. Wait, you love me? She asked, thinking that he was confessing to her. As a friend, yes I do, said Naruto. You've been there for me when Itachi went away. So you're one of my closest friends, said Naruto. The book said it's the best way to show the bond between a female and a male. Naruto, what book exactly is this? She asked. As Naruto reached around himself before he pulled out a small, white book. Izumi blinked when she noticed the title. Relationship Tips. This is not a friendship book. Yes, I know. It's a more intimate friendship. Between two people that have grown exponentially close. Yeah, but you just can't go around kissing people like that. Especially the opposite gender. Well, I apologize. Oh, well, you don't have to. I mean, it wasn't bad, but you just caught me off guard. And yeah, we are close friends, she said, as her cheeks were still burning red. The way he looked at her, the way he spoke, he wasn't embarrassed one bit. He was just so calm. Up till this day, she just couldn't figure him out. He always did some weird things, but this one caught her off guard. I will take that into consideration next time, said Naruto. In his mind, he really thought that that was a sign of deeper friendship. Yes, he knew that lovers kiss as well, but he thought, well, he read too much books. And this one is different from the other one. A more mature, deeper form of relationship. Let's just go for a hug instead, she said. Is that okay? As Naruto nodded as she hugged him. Well, don't be a stranger, she said, her face still red. I won't, said Naruto. As she quickly made her way off. Still, burning red. Her mind still couldn't believe that just happened. And that was her first kiss. As she touched her lips. And it wasn't bad. Of all the people to get kissed by, getting kissed by Naruto Uzumaki was definitely not a bad thing. Time skip. Hokage's office. Remove your mask, said Hiruzen. As Kakashi reached up and moved his mask. Hokage-sama, he said. Kakashi, I have a long-term mission for you, but not as an envoy. I want you to take Naruto Uzumaki on as an apprentice. Kakashi was surprised by that. Of all people, him. Yes, he knew the kid. He was an odd one, he didn't speak much. But when he spoke, he tried to find logic in what he was saying, not to mention, Kakashi recently heard that he had saved the Hyuga heiress from being taken away, and now there were talks between Kumo and Konoha. Hopefully they can solve this in peace, and not a dangerous path that result into war. He has met Naruto a couple times. Their interactions were limited because Naruto never stuck around for too long. But he met him when he had went over to go check on Mito, and Kushina as well. After all, they were a sensei, former wife, and children. So he made sure that you were alright. But Naruto was making sure that you were protected, as Kakashi had passed by a few times late in the night to make sure there was no skirmish or anything because of these people at the first few months. But Naruto was always on the roof, as Kakashi wasn't sure that he even sleep. He was a Uzumaki just like Kushina. A quite powerful one in fact. I know this will be cutting into most of your time as envoy duty, but I want you to assign a team leader for your team, just for a couple of months. But sir, isn't he a first genin? You don't have to worry about that, Kakashi. And you don't have to take him on any D rank missions either. Just a few C or B ranks. As Kakashi raised an eyebrow at that, I assure you, I just need a couple months of experience inside him before I have him take the Chunin exams. Now that surprised Kakashi. Sir, months? Sit down, Kakashi. As he did as he was told. Here's the wind through hand sign as he sealed the office off. Silence in seal. There's something that you must know about Naruto. Time skip. Naruto sat in training ground 7. His eyes were closed as he was sitting down, his legs folded. He was leaning back against a tree, as the tree behind him was waving in a strange pattern. It seemed to be almost shaking, as he did not stop until Naruto opened his eyes. Once he did, the top half of the tree exploded outwards with sharp, deadly vines that would have shredded human flesh. Getting to his feet, Naruto rested his hand right on the bark. Said vines started slowly pull back in tree. Once they were fully inside the leaf, they started to grow at a rapid pace, returning the tree back to the form that it was before Naruto ruined it. As he patted the tree happily, he then stretched as someone flashed behind him. That was quite some impressive work. I thought by showing you something interested, you will come out. You knew I was there, said Kakashi. Yes, said Naruto as he turned towards the man. That silver defined here and that mass. Of all people, I didn't expect you. Well, the Hokage sent me here. He told me about you and your condition. You're a new first genin, but you're not exactly a genin, are you? He said. In terms of power, you're speaking, said Naruto. As Kakashi nodded. Well then no, I am not, said Naruto. It seems I'm far more stronger than most of the people in my class or most of the other ninjas around. But I have not yet fought any of them in a real battle to distinguish that. Well, from what the Hokage told me, despite not showing it off so much, you're indeed a lot stronger. Yes, I can say that for certain, said Naruto. I'm just saying I haven't fought any of them in a real battle. As Kakashi nodded. Well, I've been assigned to take you on a few missions and gain you some experience out there to prepare you for the world and what is to come. Don't worry, the Hokage has told me about you. As Naruto narrowed his gaze. Everything. Kakashi nodded. Yes, I am still a bit surprised. But well, this world has been a crazy place for a long time, so I'm not that truly surprised. But your situation is the first I'm seeing. But it makes sense now why the Hokage believes that it won't take long for you to become a Chunin. As Naruto nodded before he focused on the mass, he glanced up towards the eye. You have a Sharingan as well. As Kakashi paused at that, who told you, he said. No one. I saw those eyes before. It's the same chakra, well almost the same. running in that eye of yours. I was told that you were a good sensor, so I'm not too surprised there. But can you distinguish the chakra between different dojutsus? Well, I believe that is what I did, said Naruto. Is it not? Well, yeah, I think so, said Kakashi. If you can tell a Sharingan from a normal other dojutsu. You have seen the Byakugan before, yes? Yes, when Hayashi used it. When you saved his daughter, I presume. Yes, I saw it, and there was a completely different feeling. But, in the end, they're all connected. By chakra, normally, said Kakashi. No, that is not what I meant. What do you mean? I feel there is another deeper connection. They're all from one. All from one? I can't really explain it, but I believe. All of these dojutsus and powers, they're all from one. And I'm somehow connected to this, whatever it is. Kakashi narrowed his gaze. What are you talking about? I don't know myself. I guess I'll just have to learn some more, said Naruto. So what are we gonna do first? Well, first off, I want to have a little test with you. A test? Yes, a mere spar to see how advanced you are already. How far are we gonna take this, said Naruto. Nothing too lethal, just to see how far you have come. As Naruto nodded, Kakashi jumped back a few feet. When I say go, you attack, okay? As Naruto nodded, alright, go. As Naruto rushed towards him, Kakashi watched Naruto moving towards him. The Hokage had told him to be cautious when testing or fighting Naruto because he wasn't exactly normal. And after hearing what he heard, Kakashi wanted to see for himself first. As the moment Naruto reached him, he pulled back his fist before he launched it forward. Kakashi reached out to grab it, but Naruto pulled his hand back. It was then that he slipped down that strange fighting style that confused Kakashi. He then started to attack. Kakashi dodged the first kick. Jumping back, Naruto sprinted towards him, moving much faster than he was before. Kakashi dodged a spinning blow as he reached out to grab Naruto by the shirt. But Naruto twisted mid-air before he balanced on both of his hands and lashed out his legs. Using his X-forearm to block them, Kakashi staggered back from the blow, only for Naruto to move once again. This time, he launched his fist towards Kakashi's stomach. Kakashi reached out as he grabbed Naruto's wrist, only for Naruto to grab his. Kakashi then grabbed Naruto's other wrist. He lifted Naruto off the ground. But to his surprise, Naruto stomped his foot back in the earth and pulled him straight down. As Naruto brought his head back and slammed it into Kakashi's. Kakashi staggered back, surprised, all being looked from that single eye of his. The moment he staggered back, Naruto was behind him, as Naruto lashed out with a furious punch before he stopped, as Kakashi was already about to dodge it. As Naruto dropped his hand to his side. Why did you stop? I presume that was enough, said Naruto. You're an Anvu, correct? Yes, well I was one recently. I hurt you, said Naruto. So I presume that is enough to say that my skills are okay. Besides causing pain to a fellow ally is something that should happen, correct? Kakashi nodded. Well, there are several things that I want to talk about. First thing first. You deliberately withhold your speed and strength until you use it to caught me off guard. That was quite impressive. Not many your age would think of that tactic. Yes, one of the best strategies. Never allow your opponent to know what you're fully capable of. That's one of the other reasons I stopped. The more I fight, the more stronger, or the more of my strength seemed to come out. And if we had fought for too long, I might have ended up hurting you. That was a rather bold claim, Kakashi thought to himself. After all, he was an Anbu 11 ninja, but still. Something was just telling him that Naruto was not lying. Perhaps it was the look on his face, or perhaps he was just dead calm. He was just merely stating a fact. That style that you use, it's not a Konoha fighting style. No. It's the one I got from the Kumo ninja. Kumo ninja? Yes, that is where he's from. Kumo, am I wrong? Oh, the ninja that you sent to the hospital. Yes, said Naruto. About that. The Hokage told me that you took away his chakra. How did you do that? I've spoken to the Hokage about this, said Naruto. I don't know. It just feels like it belonged to me. Belongs to you? Say Kakashi raised the eyebrow. Yes. I simply rest my hand on his chest, and I could draw it out completely. The more I draw, the more smaller its chakra reserves came, until I took it all away. But I've never heard anything about that before after all. When one chakra is immensely low, they die. So how were you to take it all away and keep me alive? I'm not sure. Regarding that subject, has Kumo said anything about this? I mean, they did try to kidnap that little girl. Something like that just cannot be gone unpunished. Well, the Hokage is certainly sorting things out. Oh, I presume that already, said Naruto. I believe that 3 should be enough. 3 what, said Kakashi? 3 of his ninjas, to be put to death. Kakashi was confused. What do you mean? She was 3 years old. So I believe that we should kill 3 Kumo ninjas. For what they tried to pull. And the one that tried to take her away must be a part of the list. Although, leaving him to suffer without chakra is one of probably the worst punishment. Well, Naruto, you see, in the Hokage's position is rather tricky. And what you're asking for might cause war. And I'm sure the Hokage is trying everything in his power to avoid said war. So will they just be left unharmed, said Naruto. I'm sure that the village will get quite compensated for what they've done. An apology. That's all, said Naruto. Well, I don't have all of the information, but enough about that. The Hokage has given me the permission to not take any D rank with you because it would just be a waste of time. So how about we go on a first mission today? Just for you to experience life on the road. As Naruto nodded, I've been looking forward to this. Where should we go first? Well, you go home and pack for about a few days of travel. I won't take a super long mission, just something for us to begin with, so we can familiarize ourselves on the road. Well, you to be exact. As Naruto nodded, it shall be done, he said. With that he was gone. As Kakashi watched him leave, that wasn't a sunshine. That was just pure raw speed. As Naruto was a rather complex fellow. At first Kakashi was off put on hearing that he would become a teacher, but this intrigued him more and more. And he would like to see where this goes. But guys, if you ain't subscribed right here, if you want to see next parts and do, like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for there's what is coming your way over Anime King and Anime King 2. That's right, I indeed have 3 channels. Go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Awakened, the Golden Dragon Soul over Anime King, which I hope you guys enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this? What am I saying? What do you say we get the hell out of here? See you guys soon. Peace.